All right, here we are, season 2, episode 6.
Yeah, we had a week off.
We did. We had a week hiatus, and not week like WEAK, but a week WEEK.
Recovery week.
Yep. So you probably noticed there's only 2 of us here tonight.
And I was the one who was going to miss last week, and we took the week off, and now we're short again. So
correct. So Tony is missing tonight, which is fine. D-Mags and I can go on. We have a contentious episode tonight.
Yeah,
we have a fiery episode tonight.
it's topics that need to be discussed, and I don't care if you don't watch our podcast, you don't listen to our podcast. This is the one that you need to listen to, and this is the one that we need answers to, because these are issues.
Correct, and there's going to be stuff in here. Even as an LCS owner, I don't know. I just don't know what to say, think, or do anymore. So, all right. So we're gonna go through some of the formalities that we typically go through in our episodes. Obviously, if you don't know who we are, I am Jimmy. This is Devin. We are always hosting Cards Corner. Tony is usually with us. Occasionally, we'll have a guest, a 4th member. We do have our producer mic'd up tonight as well, so you will hear Stacy chime in for certain topics.
Any input we need.
So, product recap. Okay, and I really feel this flow is going to go together. Like, even talking about product recap, it's all tied together.
100%.
But we're going to recap we're going to do 2020-21 hoops
Start
first.
left to right here.
Yeah, so we didn't get a chance to talk about hoops last week because it's released. There's some gnarly stuff going on with Panini right now, I think.
In their product, or just
so basically we're looking at every box is producing the same amount of rookies, right?
Well,
you're getting a LaMelo, you're getting...
And you were saying they tended to be in the same spots.
LaMelo was in the same pack. So, like, if you open the box, man, it was the upper left top is LaMelo. And I feel like the third one down every time was like Tyrese Halliburton. And
yeah. And that's not good for the LCSs who allow pack buying.
Correct.
I mean, because if you're not sort of shifting the box on somebody, they're walking in, then is that a fresh box? All right, I'll take top.
Right. And now, because we're in a cancel/change culture, there's going to be people like me, no, I pulled it in different. Okay, we get it. You're probably going to disagree.
There's a shot that you did.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
But I shuffle every time a box is open. We shuffle it.
Yeah, no, I think it's good anyways. I mean, that's what I was just watching on the break. Guy just shuffled it up. Who cares?
So, but here's the thing though, is like if every box is producing your top guy, there's no value there. I mean,
but
it's
is
gonna plummet.
there?
Well, that's going to be
what's
what's going to come
That's the
into
conundrum.
later, right? So, in theory, there should be no value there.
Correct.
But,
It's a very big headache.
All right, so let's get into Optic real quick. Optic's kind of a conundrum as well. Optic's a little more of a misnomer, though. Like, we don't have as much data. I don't, anyway.
So
how much Optic? Because you guys did a decent amount.
I ripped some.
Right.
Dusty, after I left, ripped more than I did. Ripped for couple different. I feel like Instagram Loney, one of the Instagram followers.
How did you view it?
So, like I said, for me personally, it's not one that I want to buy 2 or 3 packs of. There's 20 packs in a box. Buying 2 or 3 packs out of an Optic box is flat out silly. So you're dropping, damn near $200, and there's a chance that you're gonna pull 2 or 3 just dry packs where it's no color, no numbered card. So you're just getting 4 to 8 base cards.
Sure.
And it's, great if you can pull maybe a rookie that's worth, a notable name, but it's not one I feel like you just got to jump all in. It's one that you got to get the box, because right now, to tie like everything is there's 3 or 4 players who I don't care if that's $1,000 box. There's cards in there that are going for 5,000 to 10,000 easily, and don't even have to be numbered to double digits. They could be $299 and they're pulling several $1,000s for that card. So it's one that if you're gonna go, just go in, get the box, and do the work. Work with what's in front of you, but your chance of pulling your PC as well as getting some return on your investment, I think, is better with you buying the box. I mean, the color's great. I've bought singles for T. Higgins. I've been buying the random colors. A lot of them seem to be from the Optic preview that came out earlier this year in the Don Russ.
Yeah.
And so that was, nice little color variation. So Optic has their color scheme is huge.
Well,
and then you have first off the line too.
Well, and then Chronicle Draft Picks had Optic as well.
Yeah.
College unis, but
but
it's still was that Optic.
I've seen a couple of people passing those along to me, but I do love the color. They're very traditional, just clean cut. The images are sharp. The inserts are great. So what is it? I believe it's about 4 inserts a box. And some of the retros, I seen a retro autograph of Lynn Dawson.
The retros are cool.
The retro autograph was really sweet, and it was a low numbered card. I love the little disco, the silver circles, and it's like out of 125. But I mean, I think the color, the images are definitely appealing. This would be out of all the product, like I cannot pull a Burrow card to save my life. This is the product that if I'm going to pull it, if I pull a color, I mean, I don't care what I bought this year. That will be my grand finale for me.
So what I've noticed, and I was thinking about this today. So Optic is what I consider part of the big 3 this year for football. You have your Mosaic, was a huge anticipated release.
Yep.
Prism, huge anticipated. Optic is usually as equally anticipated.
Yeah, I think those 3 are especially for the grading aspect of things.
Correct.
I mean, with Optic, because of the border, I feel like it is a very clean, good image to get graded and do come back pretty good. I mean, I think it's very simple to know, is this off center? Any of the surface issues that you're going to find. I feel like for the most part, corners I've seen on all the stuff that being open, corners, the only thing that you might see is the bowing of the cards, that little arc. But other than that, there hasn't been. I think Mosaic had the most surface issues.
Sure. Yep.
Out of all those,
well,
that
and the
big
Optic
3
tends to be a little bit more durable of a card. Like you can handle it a little bit more without fear of really messing it up. But one of the things I noticed, and I got to thinking about it, so we've had, like when we've had a Mosaic release, we've had epic sales days in the shop, right? When we had Prism release,
it was
epic sales days. When Optic released, it fell flat. But I thought about it and was like, but there's a reason that happened. And the reason was Optic was retail hit about 2 weeks before Hobby did. The other 2 releases, that didn't happen.
No.
And so there was such a rush for product that Hobby was a huge spike. And I think people were either dissatisfied or satisfied because they were able to find retail before Hobby released that it flatlined for us as an LCS.
And that could be because there still is so much base in a Hobby box. I mean, there's out of an 80 card box, I think you're looking at, I want to say it's like 36 of the cards, like less than half of the cards are paralleled, autoed inserts, something of that sort. So there is still a lot of base. So if you're going to get base, you might as well pay the retail pricing in their mindset. Yep. So I get that, but then still, once again, you're not going to have that maximized dollar value because you're not going to find that auto out there or anything. You're not getting the triple auto.
Right, I was going to say, you're not getting the Herbert Burrow Tua auto out of retail.
Yeah, so I think if you're set collecting, with retail, I'm always for it. Set collectors,
absolutely.
Go retail because you're going to get your mass base. Just go that route. But if you're trying to, complete a rainbow of players, your PC collection, you're not going to do it in a retail pack or Hobby, retail megas, blasters, whatever you're getting.
Well, then we had, at the same time of Hobby, we had the hybrid release, which and I told Stacy this. I'm like, I don't even know what to make of hybrid. I mean, no auto, 4 red parallels is
The
it.
Mojo.
Like, I'm not understanding
It's
that, but
the Mojo is a great look, but unfortunately, once again, it's not numbered. So why are you seeking out something that obviously was still mass produced?
correct.
So
And how does hybrid even fall in? Because it's not necessarily a retail config, right?
no.
So it's a hobby product, but it's a hybrid of the
So I was bidding on a T Higgins. So there's your Mojo.
It's a good looking card.
It's really sharp, especially for them. But for that, it's a $50+
right.
$50+ for a single card. But then, God forbid, if it's Burrow, it's probably $500.
Yeah, I haven't even seen a Burrow out of Optic yet.
So I watching the breaker that I was watching last night. I watch him because he is so dang fast. But he opened 7 boxes before I stopped. 1 Burrow base
Out of 7 boxes.
out of 7 boxes.
Out of everything that
One-
we've ripped, there hasn't been a single one that I've noticed.
one base,
One base came out.
one
of the
base
one
that
we
I've
ripped?
seen so far out of the shop here.
Okay, wow.
So
How much has come out of retail?
and that's
We don't know.
That's unknown. I mean, the green velocity is a retail.
So I see a lot of green velocity.
And I've seen it a lot more in the last couple days. I was able to get a hold of a green velocity Burrow at 220. Buy it now.
But that's one of the things when I'm comping on 130point.com and I'm doing Optic cards, green velocity cells are always popping up first.
Yeah. So a Burrow out of retail. So being green velocity, not numbered, is over $200 card. I mean, it's gone anywhere up to 225, 250.
And
here.
what is a base out of hobby?
Just
Burrow selling
a
for?
base, I want to say it's probably like that $70 to $80 range. And so I mean, Herbert's, it's like $100. And once again, it's a base. You're not even, there's nothing to it. And people are
Grading.
$80 for a Burrow sold today, 21 bids on a Burrow base rated rookie Optic.
So last week I counted the amount of people that came into the shop that not been in the card game
But wanted
and
to grade.
wanted to grade. We had 13 people last week
Yeah,
that
and
came through
that's-
the door. And I've had 4 so far this week, and today is Tuesday.
There you go. Downtown Burrow, $1,000. So that's what I'm saying. So if this box is at $1,000 and you literally I mean, I understand it's a case hit, so it's out of 12 boxes. But if you pull something as simple as that, it's like, oh okay.
Yep.
I accidentally just
You stumbled into your box
and
price.
and that's not even the auto that's guaranteed in there.
Right.
That's not even a numbered parallel in the hobby box.
And then we're going to get into the conundrum. So Optic is kind of, there's value in Optic.
There
I don't
is.
think we're going to disagree with that.
But jump in the box. Don't just dip your toe in there.
Yeah, don't play around. Yeah.
Yeah, just get in.
Right. So, but the other end of that, we're going to talk about some 2021 Top Series 1. Now, I've seen some wicked stuff with Tops, okay? So,
It's all about that base.
oh, man. So, I've seen jumbo boxes produce 3 to 4 of the top rookie. Like Alec Boehm, everybody would agree, is probably the top rookie card to pull out of it. It is a rookie cup card this year. And most of the jumbo boxes are producing like 4 of them. I've never seen that before.
Jumbo, maybe, but
That's scary to me.
I ripped a lot for one Instagram guy over
Yep.
the weekend, and holy cow, it was shocking because I honestly feel like it was your pitchers, the guys that I was PCing, that were doubled or maybe tripled in the hobby box. Mm-hmm. But like a Joe Adele and maybe 1 or 2 I'd see in there. Alec Baum,
and worth half as much.
Alec Baum, I feel like was one, maybe one a box.
We having technical? Okay.
And Christian Pache was another one that I felt
Everywhere.
I thought it was short in the hobby box. Yeah,
In the hobby, yeah.
it was one. Like, but the pitchers were at least 2. I was pulling 2 of the Sixtos, Tristan McKenzie.
You all right?
Yeah, it's just hard to see your face.
Oh, yeah. Because I have a face for radio, so we need to see my mug.
I do
Can
love
you see it now?
I do love the silver packs.
Yes. The 86 Mojo look is really nice.
I wish they would have just produced a whole series on just that.
I wouldn't never say never.
That was a gorgeous card.
So now we're going to get into some issues with Series 1 that I've noticed, and nobody's really talked about it, but I started to talk about it a little bit today. So Topps flagship is always known, when you got a relic card, it was always game used. Always. Every time you go back to 19, 18, 17, 16, every time a relic card, you can guarantee it to be game used. Now, half of the relics coming out of Series 1 2021 are player worn. First time ever I've ever seen.
Interesting.
Now, I sit and think to myself, why would that be?
Well, they don't want COVID.
You all right back there? Yeah. Well, we're picking up all your bag noise.
They don't want COVID. You know, you could
Yeah.
player worn, and they washed it real quick.
I didn't think about that part. Do you really think that plays into it?
No.
So I think personally it's a overproduction of the product, and they need filler hits.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
if you're doubling up what you printed last year, you're going to need, player worn relics.
Anything. Just put.
Well,
put
the
it
reason
on.
why is I saw out of the 86, right, the Jesus Luzardo, one of your dudes.
Yep.
86 relic game worn. Okay. The 70, celebrating the 70 years relic, the Major League Materials, player worn. And those are the two relics he has.
Yeah.
The 86, always game worn.
But the 70.
But the 70, celebrating 70, every single 70 has been player worn that I've seen.
The only two that I remember pulling over the weekend, I pulled a Miguel Cabrera that was actually numbered, which was pretty sweet. And I thought that was a good one. I didn't happen to look if they were game or player worn. But
So I
they were
could
the
be
big
wrong,
hits.
but the examples that I've pulled today, it's been that way.
Okay.
So that tells me there's going to be twice as much Top Series 1 out in the market. Now, collectability makes it almost zero.
I haven't seen, with all the retail hunters, I feel like Update, the Harper box, I've seen that out again.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any Series 1
in
retail being
but
out.
why are they
Have you?
reissuing or re-putting out the update from last?
Yeah, but you know why that happens, right?
Because they're just trying to fill.
Well, because
over.
like we talked about, retail is not regulated like hobby product is. So they can go back to the well and
Just keep
reprint it
going.
and re-release it because the government doesn't regulate it. So if you're seeing Update freshly hit stores today,
Yeah.
it's not because
the Chrome
Target.
update.
Yeah, it's not because Target miraculously found a pallet sitting in a warehouse somewhere. It's
They just
because
called 'em up.
Topps has printed more and then released it to the stores because it's making money.
Yeah, I mean, and then the Chrome update is the other big hit out in the retail world.
Yep. Chrome
And
Update
it's-
is strictly a retail product.
It's all right. I mean, it's
not
Chrome.
bad. Yeah.
It looks like Chrome from last year. I wouldn't say it's anything.
Smells like Chrome, tastes
Yeah.
like Chrome.
It wasn't anything huge to go run and get. I've seen, with how retail is, I've actually still seen Chrome updates sitting there waiting for people to buy it. So
Yep.
obviously, it's not one that people are too crazy for.
The amount of Chrome Update that's come into the shop along with Playbook Football has been absolutely ridiculous. So
And the amount of playbook I see on Facebook of people honestly just trying to sell it for what they paid for, just to get rid of it.
So I'm sitting on a bunch, not taking any more. So if you're out there trying to sling
Yeah,
Chrome Update or Playbook
Playbook.
Megas, do not, or hangers, do
Or
not bring them in.
contenders.
Contenders is another brutal. I got the Fanatics shipment today.
I was gonna say, what is the?
So Fanatics
Is that the
has the
set?
Sapphire.
Ooh.
The Sapphire Parallels.
You said we didn't have anything to rip tonight. That's what we should have ripped right there.
It's not. It's pretty brutal.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's one.
We're going to rip a jersey instead. Jerseys are more fun.
I actually had a friend who said, and I thought this was pretty cool, but his mom and him never had much in common, but he's been talking about breaks and cards being hot again, and so he's sitting with her, and she actually started getting in. I think sort of like the gambling itch got to her,
Sure.
and so they've been sitting and bonding over that. But that was a product that they both found that they liked, was Contenders. And they,
Yeah, I mean,
they said it
people-
was an affordable product for them. They
Sure.
didn't feel like they had to, sell
For the
their
retail,
house.
the hobby's different. The hobby's unaffordable for everybody, apparently. So
I don't know. The hobby is just hard because it's like Optic, just paper. Like in the sense of there's so much base for the most part, and then
Yeah,
your
but
hits are huge when you hit.
the autos are big,
Yeah,
but
and their hits are massive. So that's where a lot of people, that they want to be gamblers, but they don't want to sell their house.
correct. So anyway, so that's going to recap kind of what's been out. Now, upcoming is kind of a conundrum this week because, well, we have
The weather outside is frightful.
a little bit. Apparently, slush is creating havoc everywhere.
My job, I had my delivery yesterday was, I guess the guy didn't even pick it up, first of all, and that's what I found out today, but there was issues with him getting to the depot, and so I got like 3 loads today when they finally were able
What
to
is it usually?
It's 1.
Okay.
So they doubled
So
up.
you were
they
over-
doubled up today, plus
wow.
gave us yesterday's. So I definitely know the delays and issues with that stuff.
So releasing this week is supposed to be certified basketball. It's supposed to release Wednesday. There's, we're getting conflicting reports on whether it's going to be delayed or not. The other one releasing this week is limited football. It's now a Friday release.
Okay.
Conflicting reports on, if the
pushing
slush is
back.
going to be pushed, making it push. So we
When's
did.
plates and patches come out?
It got put. When did plates and patches get pushed? Plates and patches. Next Friday. So we got a big email from Leaf today saying, due to the fact that Texas is in a deep freeze,
Yeah.
power outage, basically everything Leaf related, the calendar's been extended tremendously. So we don't know. Leaf Flash was supposed to release this week. It is now being pushed to the end of the month, and everything else has been pushed in accordance. So
Man.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. Releases, weather,
Well, especially with certified, because with hoops being such a, just a basic product, I really am tempted to see how certified is. But what's funny is the one thing about certified football that was huge was the patches.
and that's the
on the
thing.
RPA.
That's the thing with certified basketball is you're going to get a lot of napkins unless they changed it this
Yeah.
year like they did
Well,
with football.
But that's what I was looking at is their advertisement on Panini's Facebook page was an RPA that was a napkin. And so that scares me to think, like, is it literally going to be purely napkins?
So if it is, it's going to fall flat like last year's.
It's going to be bad, but I just don't understand how you had such a success and great patches in the NFL product. Like, why wouldn't you want to follow suit and keep it that way? I know there's not like NBA logo is their name, like across the, it's not
Right.
like a tiny, like identifiable logo, but still give me something. Give me the L from the Lakers uniform, give
Man,
me.
that'd be sick.
Give me the LeBron part of his 2.
Yeah. So
It could be so much better. I'm hoping they don't completely go napkins.
and limited is always kind of chunky stuff. Limited's not too bad. The only problem with limited is condition. I've seen limited as a product that the condition for RPAs especially is always brutal. Like condition's never good. For some reason, how limited is packed, handled, kicked around, packaged.
They have breakers all
Yeah.
working their lines just with
yeah.
grimy fingers.
Yeah,
And
no kidding. So hopefully we're gonna do a preview rip of both when it arrives. Hopefully limited turns out to be pretty decent. I'm not.
I saw you preview rip what was it, Star Wars today?
Yeah, so Star Wars Signature Series releases tomorrow.
So you said that's sort of like the MLB archives.
Yeah,
or
it's
type
like
of something.
Topps Archive Signature Series. It's one slabbed auto. It's pretty cool. I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, if you're not, you're gonna think it's
And then this
ish.
fancy container in a container in a
So
container
I
in
didn't
a
even.
container.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. It's like, what do they call those? The cup within a cup within a cup. What is it called?
Yeah, that would. There was a lot.
What is
Two
it?
girls,
what is
one
those
cup.
called? When like the nesting dolls.
the
right?
Russian.
Yeah, the Russian.
yeah.
Yeah. So
That's what that thing was.
Stacy goes, we have a one box of the cup coming. Okay, what is that? Oh, it's a high end hockey. Okay. Well, how high end is that? It's like $300 a box art cost, right? I'm like, oh, okay. So what does that translate to? So I went and looked today, and I'm like, oh, the cup is like $1,000 retail. It's like insane.
And you had some Instagram followers who were drooling
Right.
through the.
So I'm like going, whoa, and it was way more than 300 like our cost. So
Yeah.
I'm like going, okay, so this is the equivalent of Flawless for hockey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this will be fun. We got one box. You know, we could probably get more, but that's a financial commitment.
Didn't get to watch the rest of it. How did you? I saw I think it was like the second card in was like a RPA.
So the money card out of it was a Nick Suzuki to 24 to his jersey.
Okay.
Patch auto, which is a rookie patch auto for
Gotcha,
him.
yeah.
So I looked at Competent. Obviously, cup cards are not sold yet because it doesn't release technically until tomorrow. But hockey, 2019-20 Upper Deck Series
price.
1,
If
you
you just
can.
put 1 million, you're
Right,
sold.
pretty much. I'm good. But there was, to 99 autographs from Upper Deck Series 1 that were selling for like almost $300.
No.
So my guess is if you get something less than 50 patch auto, you're looking at
$500.
$1
maybe.
million
Yeah.
easy. So I can will it to be that.
Yeah. So it will be that.
Right. One of the issues that came up with Series 1, and it was brought to my attention today, but there was, and you probably noticed it when you ripped, it was the pictures of the cards.
That was stupid.
Right. So I had a customer today, Ryan.
depressing.
Right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he bought a couple boxes and he opened one up, and there was a Derek Jeter 101 auto. And it looked like a Derek Jeter
Yeah.
101 auto. And he admitted today, and there was 5 minutes I was excited.
Yeah, no,
'Cause I
the
thought,
first one that
boom.
Stacy pulled, and what the Aaron Judge or something like that, she was super excited.
And so he's an
Until
attorney.
somebody tells me, fake out.
Yeah, it's just depressing.
And then so he's an attorney. So attorney by nature is going to go, I'm upset about this. Let's do a little research to see how many more upset people there are.
Oh, crash bang boom. And,
All right.
and his result
Yeah,
was
so basically there is a run of people that have been recording themselves, like opening up, reacting to getting a one of one, and then come to find out it's a fake out. And it's a run of, he says there is a ton of videos on YouTube and stuff of that. So there are some pissed people out there.
I
Now-
mean it's upsetting.
Now, my question is, Topps couldn't foresee this, right? I mean, do you make the card look too much like a real card? Do you know this when it's coming off the line? Or are they just oblivious to the whole thing?
My thing is it part of the set? I haven't looked that up, but like, is it actually? It's not a kid reporter card, is what I'm trying to think.
Right, it is a numbered card.
It's part
of an
your
insert set.
cards in a pack.
Correct. If you go on Beckett, they are listed in Beckett.
So, to me, that's just I would give me another base card of somebody than giving me this.
Not the epic card of Mike Trout.
This is
A
not
picture of
this
it.
is not an insert collection that I'm going to collect. I'm not going to have all 12 of these fake out cards. That does nothing for me. But those other morbid ones, the stars insert, is that what it was? God,
Yeah.
those
the
ones
stars
just-
in
they
service.
freaking creep me out.
Yeah, where they got they looking like
it
they're
just-
at a podium, and yeah.
They just look frozen and corpse like.
So
Their inserts, I guess I would say their inserts flopped in this really
severely,
bad.
severely.
Really bad.
Now the die cut inserts are pretty cool.
Those
I
are
like
good.
those.
I have a friend who he's like, if I was to collect any insert, that's one I want to collect.
And then of all the Evan White stuff, it was beautiful.
I haven't seen, besides his base card, I didn't see
Oh,
see
yeah,
anything.
They're in my Evan White
You pulled
montage.
Did
yeah.
you pull some good ones, or you had somebody?
Yeah. So I ended up getting I got an insert auto,
Oh, nice.
and then I bought the variation. So the image
From someone
variation,
locally.
from someone eBay-ish.
Okay.
So overpaid. Thank you. And I bought a couple inserts the day it released. I knew I was probably going to overpay. I wanted to secure them just in case, because I knew Series 1 was not a product I'm just going to start ripping through boxes on.
Yeah.
And then I ended up, because of the mass production, pulling them.
What's the image variation?
So Evan is batting in his base card, I believe.
Yeah.
And the image variation, he's like walking wearing his blue
Okay.
Mariner jersey.
Yeah, because
so.
the only image variation, I pulled 2 image variations. One was Clayton Kershaw, and the thing was the weirdest. It was a sky cam view. So it was him in his pitching motion, but you're looking down at him, and I thought he was dead. I thought he was laying flat on the mound. I was like, why is this a picture?
And then the preview rip I did of the hobby, I pulled the image variation of Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh,
And he's sitting on the ground with his legs wide open, like doing something.
some sort of stretch.
Yeah, he's apparently stretching.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, due to the release schedule, we don't have anything like new product to release. So we're going to do a jersey because I love the trivia. I mean, that's the fun part. So
I made the mistake. This is, as anybody who social media-ish, never read comments.
Yes, that is death.
Never read comments. I'm never guessing. That's what I came to the conclusion. So when we recorded that one for TikTok, I just shoot out randomness. Yes, I didn't guess along the lines of your clues, but I guessed just by that next clue.
You got brutalized, yeah.
And because I guessed wrong, and it was because the clue was A Train, and the first thing, yes, I knew the time frame didn't match up, but the first A Train that came to my head was Anthony Thomas, and it was Mike Allstott, and people were just bashing me, and I'm like, but I was like, who the fuck cares?
I've been taking it in the shorts too. So I had my Leaf rookies rip I did on TikTok, and I banged the top loaders on the table to get the cards to settle. I got my ass handed to me over that.
Really?
Oh, you just turned a PSA 10 to a 6. So if that is you that made the comment, don't grade, asshole.
That's
just saying.
But is it better than the guy sticking it he pops? I see people who squeeze it tight and then push the card in there, and I'm like, come on. Especially if you're putting a penny sleeve and you're tapping it on there, there's not enough velocity going through that it's moving it at a fast speed. It's going slowly in there and it's going down.
I hear you.
So
it's the culture, right? It's just the people just looking to bitch and complain and be difficult. So, all right, are we ready for this one?
Not if it's Burrow.
It's not Burrow. So.
Oh, I saw it.
Did you? Damn it!
Dang it!
We're gonna do it anyway.
No, and I think I'm too excited.
Okay, so NFL receiving yards leader in 2006. You know who it is, right?
I saw the name, and this is very depressing.
Second team All-Pro 2003. 3-time first team All-Pro, and I didn't realize this next part. He is a 6-time Pro Bowler. 2003 to 7 and in 2009.
And a Dancing with the Stars contestant. Does it put it on there?
No.
Oh.
That is not on there. So.
And he.
So who is it? Who is it?
The Ocho.
It is Chad Johnson.
Oh my God.
So this is going to be a jersey we are donating to D-Mags because this is his guy.
Oh, and it's Ocho Cinco.
And it's Ocho on the back.
That is about as.
So
that is this. Yeah, he's.
We're going to take it out and show it, but we're going to give this one to D-Mags because.
That is fantastic.
This is his deal, but here we go. We're going to show it for the camera. Look at that.
And I mean, that's.
And it's JSA.
I have his autograph on a mini helmet on my nightstand that he signed personally for me. So that is definitely his signature.
Well,
I'll JSA it, DM. Oh, that.
All right, so give me another one.
What's hilarious
Give me
is
another box.
that they put Chad Johnson, but like then they went with the Ocho Cinco side
That's
of
actually
things.
pretty sick. So we're gonna do this legitimately, and I'm gonna hide it from everybody. So. All right.
That's filthy.
It's pretty cool. I actually thought it was a Bears jersey at first. I'm like, 5. Could that be Walter? No, Walter's 30.
It's the real Ocho Cinco.
All right. So here we go. Emily actually picked that box. So
Good on you, Emily.
all right. I mean, because you can't in good conscience be keeping a Bengals jersey while you're sitting right here. Except if it's Burrow,
Oh yeah.
because then I'm selling that.
See,
D-hole.
once again, that damn guy is the death of me. I'm glad it wasn't Burrow because it's just everything eludes me of Burrow.
Oh, interesting. Dude, I like the jersey color. Jersey color's dope.
Is it a big nameplate? Like, is it?
It's
like,
a current player.
It's a current player.
Current
Okay.
player. Yep.
So you didn't seem like super stellar excited.
Well, because I see the color at first, and I'm like, okay, let's determine, because it could be several different players, right? So I would
Okay.
just want to get I like it. I've sold his jersey before,
Oh,
so.
well, that's good and bad. It's
No,
not something
good.
fresh,
It's
but
good. It's gotten attention every time I've hung it. So.
Okay.
So here we go with the comments. We got. So he was a 2018 second team All Big Ten.
it's
Played collegiate football at Penn State.
Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 2018.
Not many people.
No, we're looking 2 years back.
He was drafted in the second round of the 2019 NFL draft.
Oh, this should be way too easy.
He's a running back.
Not Connor.
Nope.
Barkley.
No, it is Miles Sanders.
Oh, you said Pitt. Oh, damn.
But it is the white.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you have, and that white is better.
That is sick.
That is better.
The white is sick. And it's JSA, which is super dope. So, yes, I am pleased with this one. This is a cool jersey.
That is much better than the green one that
Yep.
you had.
Look at that.
That's $1.5 million, and his signature is good.
Yep.
Yeah, that is sweet.
Very nice. So I'm happy with that. We're going to tag it, bag it, hang it tomorrow.
Let me see
All
his
right.
card. His card.
So that is our opening. All right. So here comes the poop of what we need to talk. I mean, this is going to get to the grind part, right? So this is kind of the touchy-feely part, and this is the part that's going to suck for a lot of people. It's going to suck for us, too, but there's a chance we're going to take some heat.
I think we're already suffering
A little bit.
from this.
Yeah.
So
So I'm going to start off. I'm going to go a little bit, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to most likely be continuing this topic.
I think
because it's a big enough issue. But so I had a gentleman that came into the shop. He had, I think he originally talked to you, right, Stacy? 2 binders, 76, 77 Topps baseball. Talked about grading.
Yeah. I
So
dealt more with the guy with the football stuff.
He said he talked to a gal on the phone.
Yeah.
so he was a Britless.
That would be me.
Britless
Right.
poster guyer.
So he comes in, and I can tell by his eyes that he had a weird smirk on his face.
That he was already a predetermined millionaire.
Correct. But talking to him, he's an intelligent guy. It's not like he's a mouth breather, right? I mean,
Yeah.
outside of this subject matter, he would be, a guy that can hold his own in most conversations.
And I feel like that's a lot of people too
A
that
good
are
chunk
coming
of it,
into
yeah.
the hobby.
So he ended up talking about, he went on PSA, and I knew when he's holding raw cards and he's talking about going to the PSA website,
That
that's
he was
just not
already
going to go well.
Starting
right?
on the wrong foot.
And he says PSA, they apparently rank cards like sets. So the graded set of 77 tops, they rank like the top 20 cards to have. And he thought to himself, logically, which if you're uneducated in this matter,
Yeah.
I see how it can make sense. So if they're top 20 in the graded cards, they should be as well raw, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So out of the top 20, he had 10 of them. I mean, we're talking about obscure players like, Bill Buckner. Bill Buckner's a base card, basically.
He's known for all the wrong reasons.
Right. Dave Lopes, there was a Bobby Bonds insert, which, but he was convinced they were of value because PSA said the graded ones it was a sought after graded card. So,
And similar to that set that you took in recently too, that of the football.
sure.
And it was one of those where it's like there's some cards from that set that have
Are
the value.
value, but
Graded.
like today, like you're talking about the 57 top set, right?
The football one.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm currently piecing the eBay listing together for the car, other than the big three that we
Yeah.
sent off. We're talking $1, $2, $3 cards.
Yeah.
It's a grind. Like
so it's like if you're looking at the set, just including all the cards together, but when you are averaging it out and you have those 3 or 4 big name cards who are huge dollar amounts graded, yeah, of course they're going to make the average of the whole set valuable.
now.
But when you piece it out, yeah, that's
So
where it diminishes.
the conversation I had with him was no different than 20 of them a week I have with various
Everybody,
people. Right.
Yeah,
The thing was, he had the binders. They were by teams. They were great condition.
for being in a binder.
Correct. But when you turn through the pages, there were spots missing everywhere. And that's where the stars would be.
And when I heard that originally, I'm confused. Did he not have those, or did he already send those away to get great? Like,
No.
there's something missing
As
here.
as I understood it, he had no idea who some of the stars would be. He asked me. So I told him in 77, the top rookie would be Andre Dawson.
But in that era, there shouldn't have been missing. If you were collecting back then, find it hard to believe that the big stars were hard to find.
George Brett was missing, Andre Dawson. And so I told him, because back then they did him where they put 4 rookies on one card, right?
Yep.
And they did them like pitchers, infielders, outfielders, right? And so the outfielders one was conveniently missing. That would be Andre Dawson. And I
Yeah.
said, Andre Dawson's quad player
Was it
rookie
Expo
card.
or
Or
what was he?
Cub, I can't
Cub, yeah.
remember. But I said, that one's missing. And that would be most likely the top card in this set. And okay. And so I spent about an hour with him. And so I comped the cards, right? And instead of me trying to explain a lot, I typed him into the computer,
And
turned
show
it, and just showed him.
visual.
And he was deflated. Like he was, well, why do you do this? Like, if that's the case, why do you he wasn't comprehending it.
Yeah.
Right. And so I kind of let him just, I had other customers. So he was,
Wandering.
he put his binders here and slowly thumbed through them. And, I tried to explain to him as nicely as I could. It's, you're going to be grading cards that PSA 9s are selling for $5.
Yeah.
You're going to be investing more than
You're not going to get any type of return back.
correct. And so he seemed to kind of get it. And he left, I assumed, disappointed.
Yeah.
And then I got a phone call about a half hour later, and it was him on the phone. And he said, I'd done some more research, and it's like, I'm looking at cards that are selling for $2 or $3. I don't see the point.
Correct.
Okay.
That's my point.
So, but that's what you have to figure out. How many $2 or $3 sales do you have to do to make it worth it?
Yeah. And
You gotta figure that out.
Where are you doing it? Because if you're making $2 or $3 sales on eBay, it's not worth it.
And then I tell him, most likely your best bet is to find people that are trying to build a set and sell those cards to them.
Yeah.
Right? He was, okay, well, I appreciate it. You've been super helpful. Like, no problem. That's what I'm here for. Any more questions, let me know. And literally, I get a message on my phone about 30 minutes later. He posted on Brit's list, anybody know anything about 76, 77 Topps baseball?
Yeah.
And it took literally a minute and a half, and he had 80 comments.
Yeah. And like I
And
said,
it was
I got
holy she.
that's where I ended up getting tagged, was in that Brits list posting.
And I'm reading the comments, right? And people are like, show me what you got. What is your best card? Send me pictures. Let me look at them. What is in there? Blah, blah. And I'm just like, whoa. I mean, because there was a lot of uneducation in those comments.
People just hear 70s and it's automatically
boom.
well,
It was.
shit.
It's
if
like
it's in good condition and it's $1 million.
it's dropping blood.
Yeah.
And sharks just
Oh,
boom.
God.
And I
Chum.
was alarmed by it. Like, I'm like, holy crap. And people are like, oh, I think the best card is the Andre Dawson rookie. And the guy's like, yeah. And the guy that was in here goes, yeah, $4,500 worth. I'm like, I just sold one for like $20. So I go and do the thing and I'm like,
PSA
a
10.
PSA 10, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
and
are we not?
But the thing is like, it literally took me, when I saw that post, it took me 60 seconds. It took me a minute to find out what the value was. I literally went to 130 point, typed in the year, and scrolled past all of the PSAs to find the highest valued raw card. And yes, it
And
was
you're like,
Andre Dawson.
Ouch.
And it was, and because I was like, well, that's not worth anybody's time to go and try to hunt down.
The problem was, okay, so after spending all the time, and a guy that is not dumb,
Yeah.
he is a smart dude, but I'm convinced that it is now a generation of, they come in, okay, and I'm sorry, I made the mention to you, it was like, how did you survive?
No,
Because it's guys your age,
it's 100%.
but they're coming in expecting to hear a certain thing. And if they don't hear it, they are then still going about their business, right, wrong, or indifferent.
As if they heard what they wanted to hear.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that is like what this guy did. You know, it's like he heard what he wanted to hear, but was looking for reaffirmation in I was confused. Like, it freaked me out. I didn't know how to read it, didn't know how to feel about it, and that's why I did my cigar talk and blah blah blah.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's unfortunate because he's going to find one person who is going to buy some of those $2 or $3 valued cards for more money, and it's going to give him the affirmation that I knew I had something here. Because he's going to make somebody else believe it who's less knowledgeable than he is, that there is some value here. Or if there's not value here now, guess what? There will be in 5 years. So he's going to make somebody feel like they have the potential to invest in something that is not going to go up.
You know, the funny part is if you look at what a model of a cancer is, right? Cancer in your body replicates broken cells, right?
Gotcha.
And that's how cancer takes over your body. It's just Xeroxing bad information. And that's how it kills you,
Yeah.
literally.
That's
More the bad information takes over your body more than the good, and that's how you die from cancer.
The you is the hobby in this real conversation, because if you have more bad cancerous cells in the hobby is what's going to die.
It die, right? Because
that's
it's just
gonna suffer.
reproducing bad information.
Yeah.
And pretty soon more bad information exists than good, and the body withers just like it does in real life with like cancer.
Yeah, and it's hard because a lot of people, like you said, it's people who are intelligent people that are the hardest ones to try to convince. Like, this is not a get rich quick scheme. Like, do not try to get into this, because even on Saturday when you guys ran out of here for a bit, and that guy there was a customer in here, and he was like, all right, what this product now, he's like, what do I got to buy in here to make some money? Like, he was like, which cards up here are going to give me some money? And it's like, that none of these cards are going to give you money, because if you're just trying to buy one pack real quick to go walk out of the store,
To get $1,000? Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to do that. I was like, that's not the way to do this. If you're not going to sit here and actually do all the work, I was like, then don't buy it. I told him, I was like, do not buy one pack off of here hoping that you're going to figure out and find the lottery ticket. I was like, that's not the case.
So I had a customer ask me today, and it actually was repeated twice, was like, are you all right? They're asking me. You know, I'm like, yeah, why? Well, you don't seem as
Chipper.
talkative. Like, you don't seem as educational. Like, you're always bounding with information. I'm like, I'm just done. Like,
Why?
it's just Xeroxing bad information, and I'm
Why
not.
exert all that information if nobody's going to actually soak it in?
I'm just sitting back and
utilize it?
running the cash register at this point.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. I mean,
No,
that's
it's-
how it is. And I had a thing happen today that basically I know now the system is broken. Once I saw today happen, I knew the system was done. Done.
How so? With
Gentleman comes in, and for some reason he had 79 Tops baseball.
Okay.
And because this guy's probably watching or going to be watching on Instagram, I'm not going to out the card just to save who it is, but I'm going to give a rough example. Okay. So 79 Tops comes in, convinced this card is worth some money.
Yep.
I know it, it's a typical conversation, right? No, it's not. Type it up, 130 point, turn it around, boom. Guy looks at it, looks at me, right? Wearing a mask. I'm wearing my mask. What is that? That's your card. No, it isn't. No, and this is verbatim how the conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, it is your card. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Can I take your card out of the page? Yep. Take it out. Click the picture on 130 point, brings it up big. Put the card next to the screen. That's your card. Nope. He goes, go back to the previous one. So I do where the price is.
Yep.
Okay, there was a lot of two that sold for like 78 cents. He goes, that's not my card. It is. He goes, nope, mine's worth more. Wait a minute. If I am to figure out, if you were to bring this in to sell it to me, this is how I determine that price. Oh, no, mine's worth more. That's not my card.
I just do.
And I'm thinking to myself, we are now willing just on the fact that I want my card to be worth more.
He's got a mortgage payment he's got to pay.
That's all we're doing now.
That's
So
what he's hoping for.
My 88-cent card, now that I'm looking at what the 88-cent card sold for, I'm going, nope, that's not my card. I will my card into value. And I'm like, we are now officially broken.
Yeah. No,
It has come off and I'm sorry, kids, it has come off the fucking rail.
Yeah. And that is where the conversation of pricing right now is just going downhill fast.
Holy sheezel, man.
Because it's whatever anybody wants. And the argument goes back and forth between each other. Like, between the uneducated people on value of their cards. And I don't know what way or who is the final answer, because I mean, you got people who are posting cards, and they're like, well, this is how much my card is. Well, why are you posting it for that much? Well, because that's how much it's worth. Well, who said that's how much it's worth?
I'm saying it.
But it's and it's like, are they wrong?
I mean, honestly, yes. I mean, because that means I could say this jersey is a $500 jersey. Well, is it really?
But if somebody uneducated came in here and you had it at 500 and they took it without any they didn't look at any other jersey, if that was the only one you had in the shop and they bought it.
I see what you're saying. Yes, that is true. That is true.
That's the issue. It takes one, because when you do the 130 point and you see that jersey sold for $500 and you're like,
correct.
Shit.
Correct. It is out there. The only problem is the moral grounding of how I operate.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that.
You're not going to do that.
But yes, that's true.
But you're not the.
But I am
the mass majority.
The body, right?
Yeah.
And we're getting the bad information being Xeroxed, and those are the cells being taken over.
Well, and it's like when people say, "Why don't you, recomp your case?" And why aren't your prices higher? Like, didn't you know that he just had a good game? That card is $30 more.
And that's true, but I would be having honestly, you were Dusty. That's all you guys would be doing.
It would be a 24/7
on every single day.
Yeah, it'd be a case by case comp day.
It's like, oh shit, Evan had a great day. Let's reprice everything. It's like, is that how we're running?
But that's how. Unfortunately, I feel like it's basketball that really has that massive fluctuation in pricing.
It does. It's pretty extreme.
And that issue.
Football's a close second, but yeah, basketball definitely is the swing leader.
Baseball, I feel like it's
pretty
steady.
Even. It's
steady.
Pretty even.
Okay, he had a good game. It maybe peaks up $1 or $2, but I mean, you can find. I was looking at comping some of my cards, and I'm like, Bo Bichette rookie numbered cards, like maybe $40-$50 on some of them, and I'm like, ouch. Like, but then you get a Lonzo Ball that's been mass produced, but not even. It's just his base card that's selling for
a purple parallel, not numbered.
Yeah, and it's like, but that's excruciating. So it's the pricing is the biggest conundrum in this hobby. I'm having huge issues with it.
So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break because we're gonna continue.
Yeah.
Because you have.
Yeah,
You're gonna get your thoughts a little more organized,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
then we're gonna come out of the break, and we're gonna hammer this. We're gonna hammer
Yeah,
this subject.
we're
We're
gonna
gonna get into it.
We're gonna attack it.
We're gonna get ass deep up to the neck.
Are we
right?
already live on Instagram?
We're all cheeked up,
Oh, we're already on.
double cheeked up on a Sunday. Today is we're double
Tuesday.
cheeked up on a Tuesday night,
Titty Tuesday.
and we're gonna talk about the white elephant sitting on the black elephant next to the rainbow elephant, kicking the yellow elephant right in the testicles.
Shitting out Skittles. That's pretty much what it is.
Pretty much. So after the break, guys, we're gonna jump neck deep. All right.
Here we go. We're back. So let's get on or continue with the venting of the elephant in the room shitting out Skittles.
Now, one quick, difference of opinion here. Okay. Everything you guys hear me talk about is of the
LCS.
the LCS person. Okay. Devin is going to speak on behalf of a collector, right?
Yeah.
Because at heart, that's you.
That's what I consider
Like,
myself.
I don't think you could be an LCS pure at heart owner.
My wife actually said that today. She's like, we could never open a card shop.
You couldn't.
She's like, you would open everything, and she's like, we would make no money.
Correct.
So, yeah, as a collector, the number one issue that we're having is pricing, and it's a huge array of different categories, but pricing cards in general. How do you put a value on a card? What makes that card more or less valuable? One of ones, how do you comp a one of one? If somebody brings a one of one into you, what do you base your potential buying of that card
I
off
look
of?
at previous one-on-ones of similar card types, right? And that's even hard to do, but
Yeah,
I'll compare an Optic 101 to a Prism 101.
Prism 101. Okay, so
That's kind of my,
and you're gonna ballpark that.
correct.
But I mean, in the slim chance, there's just nothing out there. Like, there's not a Prism. There's not one of your big three. Say it was Prism.
Fuck, I mean, it's an impossible.
It's just one of those where you can't put a price on it. And so, like I said, I'm looking at cards in that same series, what the other numbered ones in that series are selling for, and trying to say, okay, if I was to gradually start to get more expensive, where would that be? And so, for the example that I was looking at is I was looking at a one of one XR insert for T. Higgins, and an out of 25 sold for $4. This guy was saying that the one of one was worth $200. And I was like, how do you get that price? Like, I was like, what made you? Well, that's how much I feel like it should be. And it's like, okay, once again, if I make the mistake of paying that $200 because I want that card,
You solidify that
then
behavior.
Now the LCS owner who's looking to comp that, the next one of one and looks at that, well, shit, that one sold for $200, so then this one has to. Mm-hmm. So then now is that trickling down to where other people are comping cards? And so, but that one little hiccup
Are we all right? Okay.
could make the card world just, roll downhill.
I think that's where you see, and I'm seeing it more and more lately, where you're getting cards that will sell for $75 and then the same card will sell for $4.
Yeah,
and
and
there's big jumps.
And when you comp, you have to look at is it a buy it now? Is it an auction? How many bids were the auction? Because if it was less than double digits and the card got away for dirt cheap, it was bad
it's
timing.
not a legit auction.
There was something wrong with
Right.
the titling. Like, let's be realistic, especially if there was another card that sold for a lot, more money. But as a Bengals fan, struggling with being able to collect Burrow, since I can't pull a damn Burrow card, I can't even buy a damn Burrow card because they're priced astronomically
Oh, by
high.
the way, I priced around numbers Burrow Jefferson, I think.
Yeah, that
for
would make-
$3.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's just a base.
I might just give it to you
But
because
ju-
you got
just
a Burrow drought.
Just a base card, but it's just what makes that, like, who started that amount for him, and then why hasn't it changed since his injury? Why is he still, him and Herbert are the top echelon of that? And like you said, that this is the first guy who's had a catastrophic injury, and his cards have
And
not
his
dipped.
stuff did not.
It's either
gone up.
increased or it's stayed there, and it's everybody playing the what if game. Like, well, shit, if I stay strong and I hold on to everything, and he comes back, boom! As soon as he has that first big game after injury, people are going to think that's Superman that just walked onto the field.
I think right now it's just time to embrace chaos, right? I
Yeah.
mean, everything that I've known and learned about the card market and industry is not happening today.
no,
Case in point, Joe Burrow, catastrophic injury. His stuff is
Should
going to
dip.
plummet by 90%.
Yeah.
Until he makes his comeback.
exactly.
And I was shocked to see that they not only stayed strong in the beginning, they started to uptick due to the will of the people.
Yeah,
That's never happened. Never, ever, ever, ever,
I
ever,
look-
ever, ever,
I
ever,
look
ever,
at a
ever,
couple-
ever.
I don't know if I still see them in there, but you had a couple of the Burrow Prism colors in there.
Yes.
You got the orange and the pink one, right? Top shelf.
Yeah, I think I sold them.
You sold both of them?
Hold on.
They were on the top shelf. Anyways,
I think we sold one of them.
they were like
I changed the case up.
$350+
Yes.
and I had the orange variation of T. Higgins.
I
in that.
willed it to that price, by the
Yeah,
way.
and I bought it or I actually hit that one out. But if I was to sell it, it was like a $30 card. What makes why? And once again, why is the quarterback more of a sought after dollar card? Like, why is that the card? Justin Jefferson had a huge year, broke records, 1,000 yards receiving, like all these.
But see, now
Huge numbers.
you're battling tradition. Because
Yeah.
traditionally, every year it's been the quarterback, right? That's
Yeah, it
of
has
value.
it has to be the value. But I'm just trying to figure out the whole game of how people sit there and they argue these prices, and then you have the same people who are like, I read when Panini releases what's coming out, so they're talking about certified, and I see all these negative comments of like, oh, there's a $2,000 box, wow, the fuck Panini. And it's like, I was like, why is it fuck Panini? Panini can't sell a $2,000 box if you're not buying
Right.
a $2,000 box. I was like, if you're not jumping into a break, that this breaker's selling it for $3,000. So
Hashtag KB Card Breaks. Follow them. Turf and Dirt
Yeah.
sponsors them. Go KB Card Breaks.
KB's been killing it. He just posts things and he literally, it's automatically within the hour it's booked and he's got it filled. But I just don't understand people getting upset at prices. Are they going to go to brand new construction house? Well, 10 years ago that was 50,000, not 50,000, but X amount of years ago that was a $50,000 house. That should be
Right.
50,000 today. Why should it be 50,000 today?
Because you just bought a house yourself.
Yeah,
it's-
and it was $500,000. And my mom bought a brand new house when we moved here, 15 years ago for half the price.
Yep.
So should I have asked the contractor, "Hey, I only want to pay $250. I don't feel like it's valued at $5." What is value? If I paid the $500,000 house for the $500,000 house, so guess what? Now that guy can sell another house for more because I already paid that much. So let's see how much more I can get out of the next person.
Yeah.
And so that's what it just keeps trickling down. And people can't get mad at the prices of something being released. I think I'm never mad at how much the cards cost when they come out, because on the flip side, just like we're saying, is the value of these cards are there as well. So sorry that you bought the box that you didn't get shit value. That's your bad. But that's like going to the casino, playing, putting $40 into the penny slots and being pissed off that you didn't walk out with $1 million.
Well, that's the other question too, and we talked about this, and I made the comment in the shop several times, and you brought it up today, where recomping everything like in the cases, right? So
Yeah.
if you knew every single time the casino was going to win, there was never a chance that every
Yeah.
time you put $20 in that slot machine that you would leave with $21. If you knew that was never going to happen, how many people would actually go to the casino and do the damn thing?
Yeah, no, that's...
Like, they hung signs that said there is 0% chance
You're gonna
that
leave a
you're going to
winner.
leave with any money.
Yeah.
Nobody would do it.
No, nobody would buy anything.
And so
nobody would hit.
Do you think they would do that? And like in an LCS, they come into my shop and they're looking through cards. If they didn't get a chance to win, how many times are they going to look through the cards to?
Yeah. I mean,
they're not.
Even as simple as there's a guy that I've noticed as a regular who white box searches, and I know 100% he ain't just set building.
Correct.
And so he's strategic. I see his list. I see him, and he'll be back there for hours. Mm-hmm. And 100%, there's probably some cards in that white box that maybe are a case card that could be a $5 card, $10 card, whatever it may be. But he's enjoying that hunt, and he's going through all the work to find that card. The work that you would have to do to search for that card, to recomp that card, to get that comp.
But at the same time, if I recomped it and priced it, would he be buying that card?
No, he wouldn't be.
Of course not.
That's the thing, that because he wants to be the one who then sells it for that dollar amount
Correct.
that you would have sold it for.
He wants to win.
So and I get it, but then on the side of the retail hunters, and it's like a cello pack of cards should not be $60, $70. Like the Popos.
Was that them?
It
Or
sounded
was
like
that the wind? What was that, Stacey?
Sounded like
Okay.
sirens. But yeah, like retail people, I can't get mad at somebody trying to flip a $10 cello for $60 to $70 because once again,
Somebody's
there's people
gonna
who
pay
are
it.
buying it.
Yep.
So it's like I'm not going to buy it because once I do sit there and buy it, then I'm part of the problem.
Correct.
And so I don't want to, and then that's what's frustrating is because, and I go back to, yes, it is supposed to be a kid's type of hobby. They're supposed to be able to enjoy ripping. The kids, my daughter, she wants to rip. I had to buy her tops. Let her have some tops to open up because there is no retail, but she just enjoys opening. But I'm not going to pay $70 for my kid to rip a retail pack either.
So the unfortunate part for us is we're stuck in
Limbo right now with
limbo.
both.
Right, because we have to put retail on the shelf and charge the prices that you're talking
that the
about.
secondhand prices are. And
Correct.
but you
But at
aren't-
the same time, I'm not a collector.
but yeah, and you're also not getting them at retail prices. You're still
Oh no, I'm paying over what the
you're paying over retail
Correct.
to where then that middleman guy is quote unquote giving you a deal on what some of this retail could be sold at because you're selling it at about the average of what the
They sell
outside
for,
everybody
yeah.
else is.
It was like today. I had a guy come in. He had some hanger packs of hoops and a couple hanger packs of contenders, and I know what hanger packs retail for.
Yeah.
And I bought them for 3 times.
Yeah, and I see people freaking doing breaks on hobby or on retail stuff, and that's super fun because I'm like, there's no hit there. There's not like you're gonna get a couple base cards.
A blaster with one colored parallel.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when I got Mosaic, and I was like, I was stoked to get some of those color parallels like Brady, Clyde Edwards, and I cannot give them away right now.
Oh, Clyde Edwards is in the
Pooper.
Yeah,
I
totally.
mean, I can't. I've
And
posted.
he didn't have a bad year.
No, I posted for like $10, and I can't even get somebody to take a card for $10, a colored parallel.
My goodness.
And
my goodness.
once again, it's that same thing that I'm saying. It's like, why is he not valuable? Like Jonathan Taylor had the reverse year. He was quiet at the beginning of the year, starts to pick up, then had a big end of the year, and then everybody's looking for Jonathan Taylor. Well, Clyde Edwards boomed at the beginning, and then sort of
You
fizzled.
know who the other one is?
and
LaVisca
floated.
Chenault.
His.
Good Lord.
But and another one that I've seen recently is that people are. It's the, I'm gonna chase somebody that nobody's chasing because I want to be that guy who found him and invested in that guy that wasn't a big name.
I always use the analogy because they can go out on the yard and beat their chest and howl at the moon.
Denzel Mims is one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's one that a lot of people. I've even the audacity of hearing James Morgan's name uttered because people were like, watch, we're all going to be stupid and we're all going to be mad at ourselves because we just dumped all our James Morgan cards. We
And
were
now
pissed
James
off.
Morgan's going to tick up.
And then now they're saying that, now he's going to hit. And it's sad because in the back of my head, I'm like, well, fuck, I've pulled a lot of James Morgan.
Well, but let's think about this, right? Where does it go from here? If we're now in insanity, and I believe we are.
I think
right now we're at the tipping point. We have more uneducated people in the hobby today than we have educated.
It's going to keep going.
Where does it go though? Because I already think we're pegged at the seams, but
I think we're still got probably the rest of this year of more and more new people coming into the hobby. Like I still feel like it's fresh enough because it's like, the beginning of about this time last year is when I feel like it started to really take up.
off. Yeah.
And I think that we're in about a year of that huge boom, and I feel like a lot of people are still, because now your business has sort of established itself. Now you're on all the social media platforms. You're still getting out there, and I feel like that's with the card world as itself. It's finally trickling out to more and more people who are they're curious. I mean, I'm seeing athletes, I'm seeing actors, all jumping into breaks and stuff like that, and so they're just now getting into the hobby and they're enjoying it. They're getting it with their kids. So I feel like it's going to continue to grow. I don't feel like we're going to bust at the seams anytime soon. I
hope not. I'm just not looking to battle anymore. I'm not trying to change the flow of the Mississippi anymore.
No, I don't think you don't waste your time trying to educate those who don't want to be educated.
But
the high school dropout.
The thing is though, is a year ago, this subject would have made me throw up.
Yeah.
That would have bothered me to the utmost that I would like if
You
you were
have
to
to be
tell
put
me a
in that
year ago
situation.
that I would be in this situation where I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care to try to change the flow of the Mississippi like I did before.
Well, yeah, because that it's not getting you anywhere with even the recent people.
Correct. I mean, now we're willing our things into value, so logic is gone.
So then the other one that I was looking at was the triple auto pulled out of Optic of Burrow, Herbert, and Tua.
This is insane.
So the last I looked, it was pulled, probably less than a week ago, and it's at $61,400 the last I looked, with several days left on the auction. But how do you value a triple auto? So Herbert obviously
Is it numbered?
It is.
What is it numbered to?
I want to say it was like double digit, like a 10 or lower. It was a low numbered. But how do you value a card that's a triple auto with the rookie of the year, a benched several times rookie, and then a season-ending injury guy? How do you put 61,000? How do you divide that into those performances?
Like what percentage is each player?
So, because if it was Herbert by himself, the rookie of the year, that card numbered, his autograph, it wouldn't be 61,000, right? No, I don't think it would.
No.
It wouldn't be 61,000. But you add Tua, who got benched several times, who might not even be the starting quarterback. You put his autograph on there, his face on there, and then you put Burrow, who had season. How do
Well, I'm trying in my mind, trying to divvy up the
how
the
do you-
dollars in that.
There's too many variables to that. So say,
So are you talking about the gold 101, the gold vinyl?
was it one of one?
So it's at 61,200 right now with
I-
158 bids.
Oh yeah. So okay. So, it was a
my
one. Of,
my next question, and we've covered this.
If that's the card you're talking
yeah.
about.
It's the goal. It's optic.
We've talked about record sales of cards where people are spending just insane amounts of money for cards. Did our per capita in this country, like our median house income, quadruple overnight? Like, where all of a sudden is all this money coming from? No,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
I'm being
it's-
honest
it's
because we're
fair.
now seeing auctions constantly for $10,000+.
Oh yeah. And I feel like that's a normality.
A
of it,
common,
yeah.
like 61,000. When you told it to me, I'm not shocked by that.
No.
A year ago, it'd have been like, damn. Now I'm like, really? There should be more.
Yeah.
Where is the money coming from?
But yeah, I don't think there's.
I didn't get a rate. I don't
No.
have $100,000 to play. Do you? I don't.
But-
Stacy, do you?
For me.
No, but it goes back to that whole. We talked about it the other day. Jimmy and I did with Michael Jordan SP1 baseball upper deck card.
Yeah.
And
you guys sold it.
It was PC. Oh, what was that company?
PWCC.
That is known for show bidding, and it was
Shill bidding. Yeah.
shill bidding, and it was their card, and the amount.
It jumped to PSA 10, jumped to like almost $3,000 for that card.
The Rock. Did you hear about that one?
No.
The Rock Tearaway card. It was that idiot guy that you all talk about.
Gary V.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He spoke his name.
The idiot guy.
I'm not a fan of that. But he spoke the Rock's name and about the card. If there's something about investing in a card, invest in this one. And so even the Rock had to post on Instagram. He's like, what the hell is going on? Why is this? It was like, oh God, it was ridiculous how much money all of a sudden, and some of them were graded. Dwayne Johnson football card. So it's this Bumblebee. So Bumblebee tuna, is that what it is? It's a tearaway, so it must have been attached to the back of something, and so it had perforation. So I don't know how the hell you comp or you grade that sumbitch, but
Usually they send it like the PSA won't even touch it because of perforation.
so here's one, graded 10, 1994 Miami Bumblebee Seafood Incorporated. I don't know how the hell it got graded 10 for a perforated card. This is the highest price and $80 shipping, FYI. So,
Guess what? PWCC auctions.
Is that what it was?
Good Lord, really?
Yep, it's their card.
Oh yeah,
Sold February 6th, $45,100 with 50 bids.
yeah.
Holy
Ding, ding,
crap.
ding. We got a winner.
PWCC.
So what is PWCC? So it's just a
You didn't know
company?
that, right?
No.
So they are one of the leading auction houses on eBay. They got in trouble along with PSA
Okay.
for trimming and grading, and then they
Gotcha.
got in trouble for shill bidding their cards. So there would be people that would be affiliated with PWCC that would bid up their cards, but then PWCC would start winning their own auctions, and so they would have to repost. And after doing that, like the card would go away, but there's watchdogs that would pay attention.
To when it pops back.
Right,
up.
and then the card pops back up under PWCC. Of course, they give the thing like, well, it came back into the auction house or something stupid,
Yeah.
right? But they ended up getting in trouble for shill bidding, and there's controversy surrounding PWCC all the time. But they're a $50 million a year business on eBay.
That's just, when they're doing shit like that, like it's insane. I want to see. So
But how you know that though is when you see a PWCC card like the Dwayne Johnson sell for $45,000, but the next PSA 10 by Joe Blow sells for $900.
But that's what
big problem.
here's a BGS 9, $20,000.
I don't.
So we're not even in the same. We're not even at a
I'm just gonna
PSA.
lay down and let you jump up and down on my head. I think
BGS. I mean, here's another one. BGS 6 $5,000 for a 6 of a card that was a tuna card.
Who's buying these though? Like,
But
I'm not in the market for paying for a 6 $5,000.
Yeah, no.
I'm having a hard time spending $500 on a workable camera.
Yeah, he was just floored by all of the hype around the card. I don't get it. I don't really see, but that's what I'm saying is it's how do you value these cards? Who is the one setting these bars?
Okay, so if you look at the bid history on that Rock PSA 10, it goes from $9.99 to $100. Okay, I can get that because Jimmy does that sometimes. Like just $100, I'm going to get it.
Yeah,
I'm going to forget about it.
I've done that lately too because you guys have said that. So I just
go hard high.
Yeah.
So then it goes from 100 to 500.
That's a big jump.
800 to 800 to 1,000 to 5,000
See,
Hot
that
damn.
starts to get suspicious, right?
Yeah,
Jumping
$4,000.
that much.
to 6,600 to 8,200 to 9,800 to 11,500. And then in the 11,000s, there's like $200 leaps.
increments. Yeah.
Okay, but then when it takes its big hits, it goes from like 12,000 to 13,500, and then it adds 1,000. And then it's not like $100 or $50
Yeah, you're
at
adding
a
a
time.
grand.
We're adding thousands of dollars.
And I
And
want to
it
know,
jumps.
it doesn't show you the bidders, right? It just
It
shows you
says
bids.
Private listing bidders' identities are protected. But
'Cause
it
I'm just-
jumps from 19,000 or 21,500 up to 23,800 the night that it closed.
And then it sells
And then,
still
yeah.
for $45,000.
See, that would be suspicious to me.
And 33,000 to 42,000 and then 42 to 45.
$9,000, really?
But see, is that because of whatever this Gary Vee was like trying to tell? Like, why? That just,
But yet, when you look at Gary Vee's videos, he's got like a Stretch Armstrong on his shelf and like a starting lineup of like Lawrence Taylor.
I think maybe
He's got ripped
is he
18,
just
19 hoops just
is
sitting in
he
his
just a puppet master who's just wanting to watch? Like, if I say this, let me see what people do.
I think it's part of that. He's an influencer, so maybe he's really taken out for a walk his influence.
But is it a humorous influencer? Like, is it just like, if I say people need to lie down in traffic, or they? Let me see. If
I
they do
honestly
it.
think that Gary Vee is a grounded guy. He's not like a Vegas Dave who's just like he's got helium plugged into his asshole and
just shitting,
Right.
shooting things out of his
right.
mouth.
So I think Gary Vee is a grounded guy. So if he's doing it under the guise of, am I really able to do this?
Yeah,
But the problem is that's dangerous because if you're an influencer to the
that
point,
extent.
right? Any little thing you say is going to
Yeah.
create reverberations everywhere, right?
yeah, and it's
So-
but that's where we are. We're a Bumblebee tuna card can be worth $45,000. A perforated, somehow mint 10.
Dude, I got post cereal shit I cut out that's Olympic Games from 1999.
You better PSA
Ready to go. I'm
that thing.
PSAing that
God.
shit right away. So,
Yeah,
all right.
I don't know. It's a really.
So if you had a message for the collecting community at this point, what would it be?
Let's scale things back. Like let's.
Oh, fuck.
That I mean, it's.
I mean, that's a novel thought, but can you imagine a guy earning that $45,000 going, oh, I agree with you. I'm scaling that shit back, right?
Well, yeah, no. I mean, but it's.
Because he's like, ooh, gas pedal down.
Yeah, I mean, I understand like those big ticket ones. I don't think that card should have been $45,000. No, but like the Jordans and stuff like that, like prominent big name players, their rookie cards, that type of stuff. The history, that Dwayne Johnson college football card
Is ridiculous.
That's never played in the NFL. He smells what the Rock's cooking. That's just not. It's not worth it. But everything else I can understand. But let's try to make it where the increments are not so drastic.
Sure.
Like, let's make it to where it's feasible for the average person, not just for the wealthy.
Are you gonna sing?
La da 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 da.
So
Mary Had a Little Lamb.
wouldn't it be the recommendation to get back to your actual PC and collect for what you enjoy?
Yeah,
And in that your single cards or ripping your Donruss football and not trying to be the get rich quick scenario.
And that's where, as much as people hate my Instagram and Facebook lately, but that's where I've been flooding with my PC. But I sit there.
Are they dogging out your
Some
Higgins and all that?
some people are, because they're like, God damn, are you like,
Like, what's wrong with you?
Connie today? She's like, you have all his cards now, right? And I just like chuckled, like,
That's a drop in the bucket.
I was like, do you know that one title he can have 20 plus cards in that one title and that one design? Like,
Right.
I was like, that's not even. I was like, I can barely.
So instead of doing Evan White, you're doing.
I'm doing Higgins. But the thing is just like,
I'm not posting mine relentlessly though.
because I just think it's fantastic.
I'm a
It's a
closet-
beautiful montage.
I'm a closet.
It's
montage.
a TikTok montage. But the thing is
Ooh, it's a TikTok. You just, I
TikTok,
think you
there
just
we go.
created your own thing.
TikTok. Gary V, can you shout that out?
Yep, TikTok.
TikTok, and just put my name on it, D-Mags. I got you. But I even have to message people on eBay because I'm seeing all these cards that I'm got outbid on, where I did my high bid at what I felt like the card was valued at, because I bought another one at this price, and I'm like, okay, I got a 125 for $42 of Optic, and now there's a 2 out of 299. Well, I'm not going to pay $60 for the out of. Why would I pay $60 when I got a 125 for $42?
And that's logical.
But they're going for $70. Then the 125 or a 35, and out of 35 is going for 90, but the 299 is going for 70. What? Like,
it's not proportional.
and so that's where I'm having the issues, because I'm like, I want to be the PC collector, but I also don't want to make everybody think that their card's more valuable than it really is.
Right, and you buying it plays into that model.
He cements it. I bought 2 cards from a guy through Facebook. I got an out of 25 RPA, the helmet from Phoenix. It was the helmet RPA, and I got
Is the helmet orange?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
and then I got the relic from Phoenix out of 50. I got those 2 cards, and the relic was sick because it was the tiger stripe from the jersey. So it was like a substantial relic to have. I got those 2 cards for $40. But then I made the mistake and I bought an out of 50 RPA for $50. But I bought the out of 25 and a relic for $40. And so like when I looked back and I was like, well shit, like yeah, I bought the one through a guy on Facebook where I didn't have to pay fee, like all that type of stuff, but it's like, see, I made the mistake where now I made this guy think this card's more valuable. So now when somebody goes and comps it, that card is going to be worth
Now
more.
you played into
worth
that, right?
more than the card that's the out of 25. Why would the out of 50 be worth more than the out of 20?
I guess I did it too because I did it with the Evan White variation. I paid $50, and it's probably actually it's probably $10 right now. But
Yeah. So I mean, it does play a lot of games. Like you have to be very conscious when you are, PC shopping. I mean, I know a lot of people now are just they're buying on eBay to try to flip later. There's maybe 10% out there who are buying for their PC, but a lot of the people still people say, well, what happens when Higgins gets traded? Chad Johnson didn't finish his career in Cincinnati. That's a Bengal. Like his jersey is a Bengal. He is a Bengal. Like I don't care if he gets traded. If Evan White gets traded, he still was a Mariner. He still was a guy that you followed at the beginning of his career.
I mean, I would follow Evan no matter where he went because that's what fans do.
Yeah, and so that's like it doesn't matter if he leaves. So it's going to always be in my collection. I'm not going to dump it once he gets traded.
Sure.
Like it's not something that people are like, oh, well, if he hits it, Brad said it numerous times. If he hits big, you're sitting fat right now. You got all these cards of his. I'm like,
but that's under the assumption you're moving them.
I was like, I didn't buy all these to sell them. I was
Right.
like, why? No. He's like, but no, I'm not saying that you're going to, but you could. if something bad happened. No, that's not the like. What bad enough is going to happen? Like I'm going to lose my house, and okay, maybe I sell a card to pay what the water bill.
mortgage,
Like,
yeah. Right.
I don't. That's about as much as I get. But yeah, so I just people be conscious when you are buying single cards. Don't set these values in these markets so high that they don't have any rhyme or reason, or where an out of 200 is priced higher than an out of 25.
I mean, it's sound advice, and I completely agree with it. Now, we're going to do Ask Cards Corner, right?
We got
don't
questions.
know if others are going to concur. 'Cause
So
I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of love and we're going to get a lot of hate over this topic, but all right.
So if you guys have been listening and you have questions, comments, throw them out. This would be now the time. I will kind of scroll through.
And you can't hate on me for the Yankee jersey. It was a Valentine's Day present.
So 207 says, I agree too many uneducated people. They're coming into the hobby. It's great. It's a get rich quick scheme, and it's 100% not the case.
Yep. But 207's been kicking in the game for a while.
I was gonna say 207. He seems to be knowledgeable, and
Correct.
He seems to be somebody who it's an enjoyable hobby.
He
when
doesn't rip
rips.
a ton, but when he rips, he's doing it because
He
likes
enjoys
it.
it, yeah.
Joey said, I was scared when you guys were talking about the Burrow. He's like, I was scared about that when he bought that auto from us, kind of at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but
And
did he buy that auto with hopes that he's trying to flip it? Like, if
it was like we sold it for $300 and it's probably $1,000 card now
100%,
because it was like as right when not long after Burrow was drafted,
oh wow.
we pulled the card and sold it.
So it was a LSU.
I think it was the ultimate draft.
And then 207 made another comment, can't get mad at prices as everyone's paying for the product.
Yeah,
Correct.
If people were really mad, they wouldn't be paying for it.
100.
Correct.
That's what we're
because
preaching.
I think a lot of the ones that are on Instagram, they're like fuck Panini. They're the ones getting into breaks and then buying the boxes
Yeah.
from the card shops or on eBay or
Yeah.
on David Adams or Blowout or Steel City. I mean, if you want to get pissed off at pricing, get mad at those guys. Honestly, because you know who we match our prices to?
Those guys.
Right. They set the market.
Yeah.
And then we go, okay, so if Optic is selling on David Adams for $1,000,
You want to try to beat
we're
them.
doing it for $750. We're going to mark it down.
Yeah.
Number one, we want to make a little bit of money. Let's be honest. We're not doing this to break
No,
even.
and people
But
understand that.
we want to pass on some value.
Yeah.
We don't want to gouge the shit out of
You want to leave a
everybody.
little margin for them too. Like you said, you want them.
You got to win.
Yeah, you want them to feel like they're going to win.
Man, it's almost need a nap. All right.
And then, like, when you guys are talking about different people in the industry influencing it, Panini's just as bad. They have Grant Hill ripping packs live.
That
Yeah,
was
but-
in. I can't believe that happened.
But
Did you-
Topps did it too. Topps, their rip
Yeah.
session was
million card rip session.
Yeah, Mark McGuire ripping packs. They had everybody was ripping. I mean, and they were ripping from their house.
Right.
Like it was. So yeah, they're influencing, but I bet you all those superstars, those old time superstars. I'm going to put Mark in that.
Steroids.
But they probably have no clue what's going on in the
They
card
have
market.
no idea.
They have
He's
no-
ripping cards going, shit, I didn't even know there were cards still out there.
Yeah, they probably have no idea what the market is like for their card. And unfortunately, Grant Hill and Mark McGuire aren't like aren't guys who people are chasing their rookie cards right now. Those aren't big name guys who have that value. So they probably are sleeping on that side of the value.
Or they're just pissed off because I know he's chasing their rookie cards.
Yeah, I mean-
they're just mad. But I bet Mark is shocked because he looks at his SP and Topps and goes, wow, I look good in my Husky Schmedium.
Oh yeah, that guy was just massive.
He's like, oh, my
Massive
my
roid
1987 jersey looked really good. I was a medium then.
In his big truck.
Okay.
Okay, so going to some questions. I had some that hit from the story. before we went live, and then
Okay.
some questions coming in.
Okay.
I have the 86 Jordan. Should I get it graded?
That is, yeah, I mean, sure. If you're looking to maximize, unless Jordan does something like diddles a kid or, something happens where he F's up
Yeah.
his legacy, a graded Jordan, regardless of the grade, is going to be more valuable than it in a
Yeah.
raw condition. So just by the pure economics of it, okay, yeah.
It's like telling the guy with the 77 series, the set, to not grade those because there's not going to be any profit for him. As soon as you grade that card, no matter where it grades, there's going to be some margin that you're going to gain. How big is all you're looking at.
depending on the grade.
That's
but-
all you're looking at is how much money you're going to make, not are you going to make
Correct.
money.
In that case, you're going to make money
Yeah, so I think that's a no-brainer.
unless it comes back a fake.
Then that hurts.
That's another twist to it, right?
That's
because
where our
so
bag
many of those cards,
bag of dicks.
bag of dicks award. Yep.
That would
So
be-
many of those cards were like faked. So
Yeah. So that would be rough.
yeah,
Have you guys considered grading more of your modern cards?
No.
And selling them online or in store?
nope.
So,
I-
no, but why?
I discourage anybody grading anything modern today. Discourage it completely.
So, as a store standpoint, we can't have our inventory tied up and our money tied up with PSA for over a year.
The only way I can do that is if my landlord then tells me I don't have to pay rent for a year. Okay, and then I can tie up some value.
The issue that I have, and I'm glad that you guys don't do that, is because once again it's the market setting. So if all LCS owners just sat there and ripped boxes and just PSA'd all the big hits that came out of their boxes, and then nothing was on the you're basically just gonna have a showcase of just graded stuff,
right.
and that's all you would have. You wouldn't have raw.
That's the
You wouldn't
trade
even
that
have
we're
packs.
making, right.
You would just be pure. Because it would be dumb as a LCS owner to not just rip them open and just send them off to get graded everything, because you're saying that you have so much profit sitting on your shelf more than you have in your case. So I say LCS owners don't do it, because I think that could be another leg
Nail in
to-
the coffin.
Yeah, another leg to this whole monster, and it's
Yeah.
don't do that, because it will set the market even higher.
I am about product on the shelf. That is the most important thing for me as an LCS owner.
Because it keeps people coming back. I mean,
They don't come through the door because I got a nice, Kyle Lewis base card in the Mariner case. They're not coming through the door for that. They're coming through the door for what's on the wall.
And if you graded everything, you wouldn't have your regulars coming back, because to buy probably a minimum $300-400 graded card, that would probably be your low end,
And that
product in the
prices
case.
out half
And
of them
and
immediately.
a lot of people would be like, well, shit, I'll come back in 6 months when I could afford that card.
Yep.
So I
am more excited to sell it to them raw and let them decide whether they want to grade it or not. Just don't grade it with me.
leave it
'cause
in their hands. I just the margin is better for the consumer than for the LCS. I
Correct.
think it's much better in their hands.
Who do you think is going to be the Saints future quarterback?
Drew Brees.
I want it to be Winston, and I've seen
Taysom Hill, I think, but
everybody chasing the next lottery ticket. I see random things like, well, I'm going to go hurry up and buy a whole bunch of Winston cards because he might take off with the Saints and blow up.
It's funny you asked that question, because I had a run of people a couple weeks ago that ran and going, do you have any Taysom Hill rookies?
Yeah.
So there must have been Saints in the news.
Yeah, because because it's the what if. Like, they want to jump on the train before it takes off.
And I'm like, no, dude, I don't have cards on demand.
Yeah, but that's what people are trying to think. That's why they're looking at, well, shit, maybe James Morgan is worth it. Or if Deshaun Watson goes to somewhere to a more playoff, worthy team. I've even seen J.J. Watt hunters now, because people are like, oh shit, he's gonna get traded, or he's gonna go sign with his brother, or he's gonna go sign with Tampa and Tom Brady, and he's gonna win a Super Bowl, and now his cards are gonna go through the roof. And so I've seen even defensive players, people are seeking what's the next. Where can I make the extra $20 on this card? Where can I make the extra change on this? God forbid, I even saw people posting about Vincent Jackson cards yesterday. R.I.P.
The former Tampa Bay Buccaneer wide receiver?
Yeah, but he was found dead yesterday.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
38 years old.
Wow.
But people were posting.
They're looking for his
cards. Because he was
found.
found,
There is a
dead.
point of. Rod Caruth, right? You remember him?
Yeah.
He was convicted of murder.
Oh yeah,
and sent to prison for what, life?
Yeah, the Panthers.
Right.
receiver.
So once people, Aaron Hernandez, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's where the thing is people are trying to jump on these different waves, and
Wow.
it's rough.
I honestly believe if you're doing that after somebody dies, you're a soulless human being.
Yeah,
I mean, no offense, but immediately when Kobe died and people are jumping on that bandwagon, man, you have no soul.
Yeah, it was one where it's like I can understand if people are like, hey, let's show off our Vincent Jackson cards in memorial for him, but like, not how much is your Vincent Jackson rookie? Because 2005. You got any 2005 in here? Let's rip some.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, that's just it. That was a sad time.
Wow.
Okay, so should the Seattle trade for Deshaun Watson if possible?
I don't care.
I don't think it's wise on either team, because Russell Wilson would have to be in that deal because they're not going to have both of them on the salary cap. So I don't think it makes sense for Houston to take Russell's contract to have they're trying to rebuild. So on Houston's side, it's a waste of time because they're taking on a big contract and an aging quarterback over the youth they're sending away when they're trying to go rebuilding by getting rid of J.J. Watt and go, that younger route. So I don't think it makes sense on either.
And see, D-Mags is looking at it from the logical business standpoint of that. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at it purely by the reactional standpoint. If they got rid of Russell Wilson, okay, Hummus Field or whatever, CenturyLink or whatever it is now, they will burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
I guarantee
You lose 99.9% of your fan base.
Oh my
that's
God!
The only people
will freak,
Yeah.
and it doesn't. And you can bring in Tom Brady, and it still wouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
People would freak. Hummus Field would be sticks, and most likely Pete Carroll and who's the GM? Schneider. They would need armed guards with them everywhere in Seattle. Because somebody would probably take a pot shot at him.
I think if Seattle does anything extreme like that, they have to get rid of Carroll too, because you cannot bring in a new face of the franchise. You couldn't bring in a youth quarterback and have Pete Carroll start with him. Like you would, because Pete Carroll's not going to last long. Like God forbid, and he's the oldest. Him and Belichick are, the oldest coaches out there, and they don't have a lot. And their card is about to be punched. So.
But people are asking the question, right? Because Russell Wilson 5 years ago would not be surrounded with the issues that Russell Wilson is surrounded with today, and that goes to show you it doesn't matter how churchy, it doesn't matter how many times you go to the children's hospital.
Oh yeah.
The minute you introduce money,
Yep.
at some point you change.
Oh, for sure.
Russell is not the same person as he was when he was buying everybody a PlayStation on his team during his rookie contract. Like that's what everybody's expecting.
But every quarterback, I feel like there's no security anymore, because I've heard Aaron Rodgers' name's thrown around and being moved.
But that's true. But that's how you look at. There's so many guaranteed deals now.
Yeah,
for that reason.
But those quarterbacks are sitting on. Deshaun Watson is sitting on a brand new fat contract. So like we're talking about big contracts having to be moved just for fun. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't. It's like in baseball. Nolan Arenado just signed that huge contract. Colorado's paying $50 million of his contract just to get rid of him. Mm-hmm. Like. can somebody fire me and pay me $50 million to send me to another job? Like,
And in fact, I'll take a pay cut.
God, I don't think that's not a smart
Do you
business
think
move.
some of that comes from Brady changing teams and winning a Super Bowl and being like that shining star?
Yeah, but I hate to say it, Brady's just a different breed. Like, it's a different mentality.
He
and
is.
And it was, Brady's never been the highest paid, like, give me the big contract on the team.
But he's never been the most physical specimen
No.
guy either. Russell Wilson, for a period of time, was regarded as the most dynamic quarterback
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Brady's never been in that category.
No, he's known, I need a supporting cast.
Right. He works within his system. That is what he's good at.
But the last couple years, I think Russell Wilson realizes that he needs something around him too, because he's running
His
wild.
physicalness is not carrying
And
him through.
So that goes along to my team with Burrow. Okay, he gets his knee destroyed. They need an offensive line. Like, you cannot
You need a
get
left tackle.
the future of the franchise.
Or in
to
his
be-
case, because he's a lefty, you need a right
No,
tackle.
he's a right hand.
Oh, he is. Okay,
Tua's
you
the
need a left
lefty.
tackle.
But so they're like, you can't just leave him high and dry. But then everyone's saying is, well, Cincinnati's not a spending team. They're not going to spend. And so I heard today they're $40 million, like $38 million under the salary cap. And there's been reports that they're going to spend the most money this offseason. But everybody's like, oh, they don't normally do that. But there's got to be a change.
Well, but there's normally not $38 million under the salary cap either.
Well, and if they cut Geno Atkins, that's another $9 million that they freed up. So there's a lot of money. But yeah, there's got to be business. People need to think logically on stuff like that. It's not reactional.
So going back to the Seahawks for a second, was the offensive line really the problem for the Seahawks, or was Russell just holding it too long to try to make the big plays?
I think he holds it too long because he doesn't have people getting open. When you run the same play over and over again, go, I can run a 9 too. Like, tell me to go straight, I can run straight. You need to have the difference of route runners.
Not
in your
me,
team.
man. You tell me to run straight, I'm zagging. I'm
You
zigging
need-
and zagging.
You have to have that. That's why the Chiefs work so well, because I heard it before the Super Bowl. Is Mahomes and Kelsey, Andy Reid would tell them, "Hey, go screw around during practice. Go play around with the ball and come up with something." And he's like, "Then come to me, and I'll tell you if we're going to put it in the playbook for that week."
Wow.
So that's where those weird flip passes
Sure.
come, where
Your
where
left-handed pass with
where
your
Kelsey's
kicking
crossing
into your
the middle,
foot
and it's just a high five the ball real quick. It's because they were given the permission to screw around in practice and come up with all these weird things.
Wow.
And so that helped their playbook become more open to where teams couldn't just sit there and say, okay, well, I'm going to guard their 9. Boom, he's done. So I
Okay.
think they need a different offensive coordinator. They need somebody who's going to open up a playbook, but they also need those pieces surrounded. I've heard tight ends like Zach Ertz being rumored to come, David Njoku from Cleveland, and I think something like that to open up a different part of the field, free up some things. It's a play calling thing.
I don't care enough to even analyze it to that point. So
My brain does.
I know you're very good at it. How you're not working for a team right now is beyond me. But
Hey, I was thought that I did at one point.
well, I know because you snuck into the combine.
Yeah,
wearing
that's all I gotta
Bengals,
do.
and he's a wide receivers assistant coach.
Yeah, I could do it.
All right.
Okay. We're still going off of questions that are live right now. We
Yeah, go
haven't
for it.
got to the story. Why do you think Prism rookie cards hold their value so well compared to other brands?
I think basically it was what the masses started to do.
Yeah,
And it just
once
became-
again, it's the lemmings just following trend.
Correct. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There is no reason that a Prism is any more valuable than a Rookies and Stars. There is no reason for it other than
So
everybody determined that was the case. You can make the comment, "Oh, it's a better quality card, higher materials go into it." Yeah, but I'm going to tell you right now, I've found more flawed Prism cards than I have
Yeah.
flawed Rookies and Stars cards.
visually appearing, I don't even think it's one of the more visually
Stimulating ones.
yeah. So that's I look at it as my work, there was one guy who was started getting back into the hobby, and it didn't really.
Dude, that is such a. I hate that phrase. Oh, I'm getting back into the hobby. Yeah, well.
But it didn't. It didn't really trickle. And then then I got back into the hobby, and dozen people got into it, and it's like, okay, that's what the hobby is. Like, one person, if I would say that Prism is the best, and I get my 12 coworkers to go only buy Prism, and then they get their 12 that's what we're doing. That's what this hobby is. So
You're
that's
sheep.
yeah. And so just
Wow.
why don't we just stop and let's all say that it's going to be just rookies and stars or playoff. I'm only grading playoff from now
Well,
on.
I mean, have your own opinion.
yeah.
Right? So following social media is the only reason that is determined, right? If you stop and change it for yourself first.
Yeah, if I'm grading, I would grade Phoenix, or I would grade Optic over Prism. So
I would grade Elite.
oh,
T-Mall.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
So does people think of that as their true rookies, whereas like true rookies in baseball is your flagship tops?
It's a completely
Yeah, I was gonna say,
different setup. So I mean,
Because
you can't even
especially with
compare
the
the two.
licensing, I think is the huge.
Yeah, I mean, you
difference
can't
there,
even
too.
compare the two.
But I don't, because it's not like it was for football. Mosaic was the first like that big hobby one that was released that was gradable, I guess. But I mean, once again, that was a first time release.
The problem with the baseball part of it is football doesn't have a prospecting
no,
mechanism like baseball does. So there's
It's
not
straight from college.
Right, there's not a product like Bowman for football that's mainstream. Okay? So no. I mean, it's apples and oranges at this point. So
but I think you set your own trend. Like, if you don't think Prism has the value, once again, just think it into a value. Go and grade your playoff and your rookie in the stars and say this is the rookie of all rookies, and just put it for priced at $500 and don't budge and wait for somebody to finally just buy it. And then guess what? You just set the market.
and that's why there's 89 Fleer Ken Griffey Juniors being put up for $1,500 when I sell them for 11, I think, or 10. But they're out there for a
Yeah.
reason. Super rare, ultra rare. I
Yeah,
saw
and-
1990 Topps Cup card. Oh, gradable, super rare.
I see. You know what?
$1,000.
What I see, invest. I've seen the
Yep,
the
that's
stock,
another-
the
yep.
stock symbol and invest. That's been on like 90% of the cards I've bought off of eBay, and I'm like, oh gosh, like that's
Do you feel you're investing?
no, it's just deflating because I know by soon.
Oh, I'm totally doing it. I'm finding a flat tire and I'm going deflating on my next couple eBay listings. I'm
But
totally doing it.
Soon as I see the invest, I know that seller's mindset is dollar,
Yep, absolutely.
because I know the
Do you
person.
try to offer them something cheaper?
I offer, if $10 doesn't work, I go to 20, and I offered until it finally says that offer was sent. I'm cutting it. I see 200. Like, there's a card I see right now that says $800. Buy it now, and it's an out of 26 Obsidian card.
Could you imagine if we did everything like we buy like this?
Oh god!
Like when you go to the grocery or you go to Costco
yeah.
and you're like, oh,
No,
shit.
yeah, I just
Like-
want $5.
Yeah, you're like, you just write it down and go, this is what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
So, but that's how I do it, because I'm like, there's no way some of these people are literally, they're just trying to put their feelers out. They want to see. They don't want to be the underseller,
They want to maximize what they're getting out of the card.
but they don't want to be I sold a shiny Russell Wilson for $10.
But
They
see-
don't want that.
But see, there's a reason, though, that when you go to Turf and Dirt, that our website is 4,000 cards strong, but our eBay store is 400 cards.
Yeah.
I'm only selling what the trend is. And that's
Yeah.
new releases.
That's where it should be.
Boom. That just happened. All right.
Okay. Next question. What is the best way to stay in the hobby and not go broke?
Just be smart. I mean,
Figuring your own niche. I mean, it sounds like a loaded question, but it is completely true. Operating within your means, figuring it out, And maybe that means you're
doing the work.
Right. And maybe that means that you're spending more time, putting more effort and energy into trying to sell your Donruss cards
Yep.
to make a little bit more without gouging the shit out of people, right? And grind it out. In this business, to do it correctly, you're going to put more work in than money you get out.
Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people, if you look at strictly, well, I sold a card for $500. Well, how much time did you put into that
Correct.
card to sell it for $500? Because if you calculated that into a normal business hour, like if you put 5 hours into it, okay, so yeah, great, that you made $100 on that card. But on that other card that you sold for $10 and you put the same amount of time into it, well, shit, that the math doesn't equal out right anymore.
The money I make
now
off
the average is zero.
All right, the money I make off Optic when it first releases is not the same money that I make off Donruss on its 50th refill. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane. And you look around, Turf and Dirt, I put way more work in
Oh yeah.
than money I'm getting out.
Yeah,
but
no,
that is the grind.
You're selling cards is a salaried position. Like you're on the clock 24/7.
pretty much.
And so if you sell things, just divide it into 24 hours because that is how much you're getting out
That's
of
a good
it.
way to put it.
You're not getting an hourly paycheck. It's a salary job if you're in the hobby. And you're going to have to sell lots. Like I feel like I have to do it. Sometimes and then you have to understand, like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to PC a player, a team? Are you trying to set collect? If you're trying to set collect, then you're, like you said about the 77 guy, then, you're going to have to try to sell your dupes, all your doubles, triples that you have to people who are trying to build sets as well, to try to piece out, to get that money back in, to go buy. So it's putting in the work is 100%. If you don't want to put in the time, I know
You're going to go broke.
There's plenty of times where my wife's like, "Hello, are you there?" And I'm in the room like, "Fuck, hell, picture this, go." So it's you got to put in the time. If you don't want to put in the time,
You're going to go broke.
just exit left.
Okay, next question. Do you see the hockey card market getting hotter?
I mean, locally, yes, because the Kraken will be starting up, and so it's going to be kind of an artificial inflate. But the hockey market, I think it's such an alien thing to the average collector that collects sports cards that I don't see an influx of it to the degree that you do in the other sports.
I don't see it declining. I feel like that's just a sport that just
it's just such a
it's in
super
its
niche.
own
It's
bubble.
in its own thing. It's like Star Wars, right? It's just doing its own thing.
Yeah,
Do you think it's going to get hotter because it's affordable to rip?
no
Those people that need to rip the packs.
No.
because unfortunately, what's getting hotter is that stuff. It's the wax stuff. People going back in time to pull that stuff. They'd rather spend the $10 on a box like that to do the work.
And he's correct. I mean, junk wax becomes, and that's why junk wax is starting to tick up in value, because people are jumping ship and going to where
Yeah, 'cause it's
what's
more
more in
affordable.
abundance and more
So
affordable.
I just think that they would rather rip that than rip present day, modern day hockey.
Yep.
Okay, what is your favorite card in your collection?
See,
I mean, for me, it's my 52 Topps Mantle. I mean, I've said that time and time again. That's a holy grail moment that came through the door, and I was like, whoo, because that was a card when I was a kid. But obviously, my Evan White collection is something that's been built, like from the ground up.
Yeah.
So, it's not easy finding, hats off, immaculate print plates of Evan White, because Evan White's not a superstar.
but which one out of that collection do you have that?
Gold Glove.
Do you have one that you like just it
Evan
catches
White
your eye?
wise?
That
Yeah.
it catches your eye when you walk by. Like, oh man, that is a good card.
Honestly, the half Mariner patch from Elite Extra Edition,
Okay,
for me, it's a 101, but it's my first Evan White 101 I ever had. But it's got the like full on, it says like Seattle on the patch,
oh there we go.
and so that one means a lot to me. That's one catches my eye every time. So
For me, I mean, building my Higgins shrine, it almost have to be
Are you looking in your vault?
yeah.
you have a vault?
this impeccable one just it catches my eye. I really,
Do you vault your own cards?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, I photo documented.
Holy
But the
shit,
the impeccable, and it's only out of 99,
he's
but
on point.
it's a gorgeous
No, it's a nice looking
gorgeous
card.
card. I love the patch next to that. Yeah, and it's
I'm gonna have to be
It would
honest.
be a Spectra.
Though. I'm probably more happy with my toy collection I got going on
I
than
think
most
you-
of my card stuff.
I think that's an underrated collection you have going on. The
like
toy-
I'm more happy with that. I get more joy out of that than the card part.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more appealing. It's like people with Funkos.
Is that because you're not consider yourself as a collector of cards anymore because of the business?
Yeah, I mean the toy thing. That's something I get to throw myself into, so I don't look at. I'm collecting what I like. It's
Well, and it's not about $1. Like
Correct,
You're opening. You're not even collecting and.
oh no, yeah,
and
I'm opening my shit up.
it's not boxes of the toys sitting
Correct.
on your shelf. They're displayed.
I didn't even think about that, and that's actually a good point. That's where my collecting of cards. That's
Mm-hmm.
where I transition to.
Yeah, no, and that's a good
So-
way to put about it.
And I think the beauty part is I still get to do collecting in my shop. It's
Yeah.
just not cards.
Yeah.
So I feel well.
Does Emily have a question?
That was like an epiphany.
Unexpected, yeah.
Yeah, that was an epiphany. I'm a collector in my own.
What about Evan caught your eye first, Jimmy?
His smile.
Yeah, he had a nice caboose. Like he looked good in baseball pants. Honestly, so it wasn't the thing that struck me is the behind the scenes thing I heard about Evan from the director of player operations for the Everett Aqua Sox. Told me when Evan got his signing bonus, millions of dollars, right? There was two things he wanted to buy. He drove a piece of crap Honda Prelude that you had to jump start every other day.
Yeah.
Didn't want a new car. Didn't want flashy clothes. Didn't want,
Yeah, he doesn't look like that type of guy.
He wanted, there was a nice cross necklace because he's a religious man that he wanted, and he wanted a PlayStation 4 for the clubhouse. That was it. Those are the two things that he wanted to buy. And I thought to myself,
millions of dollars.
right, a first round draft pick, and that's not even like the 31st pick. He was the 17th overall pick in the first round, highly touted out of the University of Kentucky. So it's not even like a scrub
Yeah.
D1 school. It's like a powerhouse D1
Yeah.
school. And knowing that he's going to generate millions of dollars in salary, he's living off college money, right? He's a scholarship athlete, so he's not a ton of dough. And you're handed a check for $4 million, and the first thing you want to do
Buy a PlayStation.
is buy a freaking PlayStation. Like, I was impressed with that.
Yeah.
So that caught my attention, and I thought, good on him. I like the grounding. I want to collect somebody that's grounded. So,
Yeah.
yep.
That would be my Kurt Warner.
So that wraps up our questions.
There we go.
That's it.
That's it.
All right.
How many viewers do we have on Instagram?
5 right now.
Oh,
No, that's
that's not bad.
And they've been interactive viewers tonight.
Oh, yeah,
Good.
there we go.
All
We
right.
appreciate you.
Yeah, so we're going to kind of recap. So we had our 11 and a half hours or so rip session, right? We kind of ended it early because we had some snow issues, but it actually was pretty damn good. I was impressed with it
Yeah, I mean,
because it was consistent.
we had about an hour there of some quiet time, but it was still like when we ripped, we ripped.
But
Like,
you're looking at it wasn't like New Year's Eve, right? We just got broken into.
yeah, I tried to
there was
explain
like
that one
this
to Dusty.
dynamic
Like
thing. Like
he's like, "Oh, we would have still done the same." I'm like, "Nah,
no.
I was like, "No, I don't."
And I
we do
wasn't
anywhere
expecting
close to
it.
that. No,
But I was loving the consistency.
yeah, it didn't have to. We didn't need people lined up. We didn't need 12 deep waiting to rip. We just needed that flow.
I do plan on doing a full 12-hour at some point, probably next month, but hopefully we don't get snow that shuts us down,
Yeah,
because that was the only thing that Stacy was concerned with was road conditions getting
Yeah,
home, so
I
that's why we ended it early, but I'm very pleased with how that went. We're going to talk about stuff coming up. We got the show coming up this Saturday. We're going to go I'm gonna bring some Star Wars. Are you going? You're going, right? Are you going?
I'm going to talk to my boss, see if he can give me those days off. But
Okay.
I know I had Thursday, Friday.
So, Cards Corner will be there in some capacity. If not, we'll piece it together. At the very
Make it
least,
happen.
I'm going to bring some cases and just kind of hang out. But maybe do some advertising for Cards Corner if I
we
can't
go.
get the
Full crew.
the crew up there. We're slinging products still. We're trying to just keep ourselves
Afloat.
pretty much. TikTok has been volatile, to say the least. I mean, I've gotten some hate lately, but we've gotten some videos that have gotten like 80,000 views.
But
So
it's-
it's been kind of nuts, but
It's social media is it's what you want to make of it. I don't even look at any negative comments as being negative. It's just boredom.
believe it or not, I was asked to attend somebody else's podcast as a guest.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's so you're gonna
So-
get the good with the bad, and I really look at the good more so.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it to look at people who are bored in their house in their mom's basement jerking off.
Now, but you kind of stumbled into
I stumbled into the Backyard Athlete. So they're little discs, little chips. They're like mini Frisbees. They go a long ways. But, I mean, I just sit around and do trick shots with them, mess around with the nets that he just hooked me up with. But, I mean, great deals. They're good for kids. I mean, they're good in the house. My kids throw them. They hit the windows. They ain't breaking anything. They're rubberized. I mean,
That's kind of cool.
They launched, though. I mean, I could throw this about 200 feet for sure. And it hovers and just don't hit anybody because the longer the distance, it might be rubber, but it's
Get
still.
some steam up.
I may have hit my wife in the back of the head, and that was not a good idea. But yeah, the Backyard Athlete on Instagram. If you click his link, you get the better pricing for there, and it's like buy one get 3 free for $20. Shipping's 3 days. So he did reach out to me. I did a little podcast-esque type commercial for him. But he's a good guy. Like, he's a young kid who went to FSU, wanted to start a business, and he was an athlete who just got creative, and he came up with this. And, he's come up with his little tripod traveling net was pretty cool. You just put it onto a fence or anything, and it bends. Its legs will hook around something and grasp onto it, so you can take it wherever. He sent me one of those today, so I was messing around with that. But yeah, it's a fun little toy, especially where a lot of kids are having to be at home, remote learning, and they need a recess or PE. And there you go.
them
You
something
just
to do.
give them outside. My girls were outside for a while today, and I mean, if it gets kids outside, I'm all for it. So
Sure. So
check
once
them out.
again,
The Backyard Athlete.
okay. I think that's going to wrap up.
The
Is
night.
is it weird kind of not having a third
No.
person? No, not really.
not weird at all.
So we will be back at the very least. I think we want to do every other week. I'm thinking it kind of. I don't know. I feel a little more reinvigorated. Maybe we'll talk about that. But
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a little more reinvigorated every other week. It's sometimes I feel we're beating a dead horse.
I think what we can do more so is play it on a week to week basis. If there's no releases coming out, if there's nothing, a fresh topic, like, I mean,
We kind of push it.
yeah, I think it's definitely something that we can adjust. It's not something that has to be a staple, but
Sure.
I think if we have the information and the knowledge to give,
I agree with that.
we do it.
It was nice. We had plenty to talk about. I think this subject is going to be revisited again.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's going to be a evolving subject.
If there is stuff that our viewers, have listened to, they have questions, they have topics regarding this topic that they want us to dive into further, we are happy to do that. Just let us know. Like, subscribe, share, right? And I think that's
And
it
do
for
your
us.
thing. We'll
So,
see you 2BD.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you much. We will see everybody later.
We're out.